If I see any egg whites, I will burn the place down. James Corden, whose beautiful face you can see on the screen, was thrown far under the bus by Keith McNally, who runs a bunch of big restaurants in New York City, including Balthazar, which is a really famous French bistro in the Soho neighborhood of New York City. So Keith wrote this pretty devastating takedown on Instagram. Now, I want to point out one funny detail I haven't seen in any of the news stories. In Keith's last Instagram post, he talks about how he just had a stroke, which left him paralyzed on one side and looks like it has affected his voice. Thank God his private parts are still working, but it looks like maybe he had a stroke and decided, I'm not taking any nonsense anymore. So I pasted the takedown into Google Docs so we could read through it easier than it is on Instagram. All right, it starts with James Corden is a hugely gifted comedian. This is a good opening because when you take somebody down, it's good to start positive because it gives you two benefits. The first is that it adds drama, because like you're sort of going to bring somebody up and then you're going to slam them down. And at the same time, it could be viewed as sarcastic and a lot of times funny. Goes on to say, but a tiny cretin of a man, which is great contrast. Hugely gifted comedian, tiny cretin of a man, and the most abusive customer to my Balthazar servers since the restaurant opened 25 years ago. Now, this is an amazing takedown because we've heard sort of rumors and stories about James Corden, but the idea of him being mean to a server in a restaurant is a powerful visual in our head. And you have to remember, it's also sort of considered standard in society these days. We look down upon people who mistreat servers and waitstaff in restaurants and cafes, bars, all that stuff. So this alone puts a pretty big dent in James Corden's reputation. Let's go on. I don't often 86 a customer. Today I 86 Corden. It did not make me laugh. Now you see some typos and stuff there, but I think that's helpful because this lets us know it's real and maybe he just got pissed off, went to his phone and just pounded this out, did not check. So it just adds to the realism, adds to the authenticity. Here are two examples of the funny man's treatment of my staff. He behaved similarly in my restaurant Cafe Luxembourg a few years back. Manager's report number 1. In June, James Corden was here on table 61. Although this is diabolical, it happens very occasionally in all restaurants. Now, I don't know what that means. Does the number 61 mean something? I can't tell. If you know, let me know in the comments. After eating his main course, Corden showed the hair to Balthazar manager G, who was very apologetic. I assume this means there was a hair in his food. Corden was extremely nasty to G and said, get us another drinks this second and also take care of all our drinks so far. This way, I write any nasty reviews in Yelp or anything. I assume he means this way I won't write any nasty reviews in Yelp or anything. Now, as far as effectiveness goes in persuading us to view James Corden as a cretin, dialogue is very helpful because we can literally imagine the story in our heads. We can picture James Corden saying these things to a member of the waitstaff. So very, very powerful, very, very effective. Manager's report number 2. James Corden was at Balthazar with his wife on October 9th for brunch. He asked for a table outside. Brunch maitre d' D'Ali Walters took the party to table 301. Mr. Corden's wife ordered an egg yolk omelet with Gruyere cheese and salad. A few minutes after they received the food, James called their server MK and told her there was a little bit of egg white mixed with the egg yolk. Now, I have to take James Corden's side here. If I see any egg whites, I will burn the place down. So I'm going to say James Corden was right here. No, obviously I'm kidding, but this is, again, powerful visual. It makes them seem very petty and very mean because even if you hate egg yolks, I'm sure you could stand there being a tiny bit in there. So again, this just paints the same old picture. James Corden is a petty, evil cretin. This is super, super effective writing. And again, this is what this writing channel is all about, writing effectively, not perfectly. There are grammatical errors all over this thing. There are parts where it's not clear. There are parts where it's a little confusing. Like, I don't know what the hell table 61 means. This is very effective writing because we can see and hear the story inside our head. So let's go on. MK informed the floor manager G the kitchen remade the dish, but unfortunately sent it with home fries instead of salad. That's when James Corden began yelling like crazy to the server, you can't do your job. You can't do your job. Maybe I should go into the kitchen and cook the omelet myself. MK was very apologetic and brought G over to the table. He returned the dish, and after that, everything was fine. He gave them promo champagne glasses to smooth things out. G said that Corden was pleasant to him, but nasty to the server. MK was very shaken but professional that she is, continued to finish her shift. Now let me just go to the Instagram post and just make sure. Okay, so that was the end of the post, and I'm going to give you my score in just a minute. But first I want to explain again why this whole thing was so effective. And it's simply because it's visual. We can see the story in her head like it's in a TV show or a movie. We can imagine the omelet. We can imagine James Corden yelling, "You can't do your job." So in terms of a takedown, this is picture perfect. And again, I can't emphasize enough that the victims in this story are waitstaff, members of the working class. That is a huge no-no in today's society. We judge each other by how well we treat waitstaff. So I'm going to give my final score. You can guess, think about it for a minute. What is my final score going to be? It is a 94 out of 100. This is pretty spectacular. I loved reading it. It felt authentic. It felt real. This might open the floodgates. Who knows? By the time that you see this video, there could be even more of these stories floating around about James Corden. So I just want to say before I end this, I don't know that all of this stuff is definitively true, but the visual details of the story, again, the omelet, the yelling, make it feel real. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you soon with more videos. Bye.